Hi guys, this is Erin, and this is part 2 of my dolphin jumping out of the seashell tutorial requested by the Facebook group LIGHTFE Resin. If you aren't following them, I would suggest, there's a lot of talented people in there, I would suggest you go and follow them and get some tips and ideas. And so one of the things was they wanted to know how I make the dolphin jump out of the seashell, and I tried to explain it, but they asked if I would do a tutorial, and this is my first ever tutorial. I've never done one before, and well, technically second, because this is part 2. We already, in the first one, I showed you how to make the dolphin, and he's all baked. It turned out really good, and there's different ways you can do it. You can see I've actually done it a different way with this one. It's a lot smaller and shape is different, nose is different. I've also done it in the kawaii style where they look like little cartoons. I've done one like that before, but I decided to do it this way this time. And now we're going to do the part 2 where he's jumping out of the water, or the shell. And what you're going to need is some regular resin, and I'm using LIGHTFE Resin, well, UV resin. This is the hard one, LIGHTFE Resin UV Resin Hard. And I'll also be using, let's see, this one. I'm not really sure. I think this is, I'm not really sure the brand on this one. I'll have to go look it up, but I got it off Amazon. And this is soft resin. Now the difference is soft is almost like, you can cut it, you can bend it, you can, it's just amazing. I love using this. And we're going to use this. You're going to need some sand, some color pigments. I'm using white and blue. Make sure you shake them up. And some little decorations to put on the side. You are also going to need safety glasses, because we're using a UV flashlight first, and then we will put it under the big light, UV light. You're going to need some scissors. You're going to need little cups and little stirring sticks, and I've got all those. And you're going to need your seashell and a dolphin. So let's get started. You're also, I would recommend also wearing all your protective gear, your perfumes, because this stuff does get very strong. And make sure anytime you have this, leave your protective glasses on, because there have been times where I pushed them up and put them on my head, and in the middle I went to go turn the light on and totally forgot to put my glasses back down. It's only happened a couple times, and that was enough for me. So now I always leave them on. Okay, so what we are going to do, later on, you can either do this the first time at the beginning, is use some of the resin to try to make this more flat on the table, because it kind of rocks around a little bit. I'm going to do it afterwards, and which is fine. But when you start to add things to your shell, it'll start to get top heavy, and it'll want to, like how I did this one, I need to kind of sand it down a little bit before I send it off to its new home. But before I did that and I put the dolphin on, the whole thing was wibble wobble. It just didn't stand up on its own. So you want to make sure that you do that. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to, got these little cups, and I'm going to mix up this blue first. So I need to put the resin in. This is I'm using the hard resin first. And make sure this is shook up really well, because a lot of the pigment likes to sit, I don't know if you can see that, likes to sit in this bottom corner. So you want to make sure you get it all shook up. I'm all shook up. Oh. Okay, I'm going to stop singing. You only need a couple drops. Huh. I could have sworn I cut this one, but I guess I didn't. Woo! No, I really did. Probably have to edit that out because I just got blue everywhere. I am definitely a klutz when it comes to stuff like this. So I have lots of baby wipes and alcohol and cotton balls to clean my messes up, paper towels. I always make it a mess. But that's okay. If you're not making a good mess, are you really making passionate art? Okay. Okay. So, now that I clean that up, let me shake that up some more. I'm starting to wonder, did I use this blue that time? But I didn't. Oh, we're using this blue now. We don't want it too dark. Let's see. Let's take our time with it and see what this color produces. And you don't want it too dark because the darker your UV resin is, the harder it is to cure. And I'm using the popsicle sticks with this because I know that they cause bubbles a lot, but it's fun because it's the ocean and the dolphin, and we don't mind all the bubbles in this one. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to pour this into the seashell. Kind of spread that out, make it a thinner layer, and then we'll bring out some more in a little bit. And then you're going to take your light and zap it. Oh, and you want to make sure that you don't do it near your uncured that you're still working on. I'm just realizing that this is not the same blue I used before, but it'll still work. Thinking I might have used mica powders. You can use mica powders in UV resin. You can use pigments, alcohol inks, all kinds of stuff. Dab that. And you can definitely feel the seashell getting hot too. Okay. That one. Put a little bit of hard resin. And I need, just use this stick. And you don't need a whole lot of these mica powders either. Oh, that's a lot. Whew. And make sure you stir all that in. Mix it up real good since it is a powder. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what I used last time. I should go back to taking notes, reminding myself what colors, or making swashes of the mixed products so you remember what color you used, what it looked like. Okay, I think I'm going to add some more resin to that. The UV Hard. It's just really dark. Okay, that looks pretty good. And because this is so dark, we're going to do a little bit at a time. Okay. There are a lot of bubbles in there, but that's alright. I think you can see that. I like that color. Okay. Now we're going to do a little bit more and make sure that it's coming up to where we want it to be. Okay. Now, we're going to do the sand right here. And once we get the layout of the sand, I'm going to go back and I'm going to put a little bit more over top of it to do the waves that are coming onto the sand. I'm going to pour my resin in. That might be a stain. Okay. And I've got this little spoon. This is sand from Panama City Beach, Florida. And I'm just going to scoop a little of this out. One of my family's favorite places to go. Mix that in with the resin. We are definitely going to need some more. So glad I got the big bottle. And usually, I mean, there's not a whole lot of bubbles really in that LIGHTFE resin, hard UV resin. I just I'm using popsicle sticks, and that's porous, so you can get some bubbles that way. I also have not been really careful with the bottle. It's been shaken around a little bit, and I stirred it really quick, so. And I did those on purpose to give it that bubbly texture. But if you're working with something else, not doing a project like this, you can still get some bubble-free outcomes with that brand of resin, UV resin. And they sell their stuff on Amazon too, so if you're a Prime member, you get free shipping. Yay! And I'm not sponsored or anything. Obviously, this is my first YouTube video, so that is just my personal opinion. Alright, this looks like it's mixed up pretty good. Now, I'm going to use one of my little sticks, kind of scoop it up onto the shoreline of our little beach. And this is the type that I'm using. Can't remember where I got this from. This is not silicone. It's plastic, but it's still easy to clean. And I use the one end to scoop it, and this is like a flatter kind of scoopy end. And I use that to kind of push it down onto the shell. Kind of flatten it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes trying to get your sand on your shell just right can be a little pain in the butt. A little tedious. You don't want to smash it down too hard because then it's coming off the ends of your shell. But you also don't want to not push down enough where it's not even securely on there. Especially with it being rigid because the shape of the shell edge anyway. See how it's got the ripples? You're trying to fill those little grooves. So your beach looks flat a little bit. Now we'll do the waves that come up. We'll take that same blue, but we'll dilute it a little more. Now, I know there's a way, you know, when people do those, the blowing the waves, the white out into where you're spreading the white out. This is a tiny project, and it's really hard to do those waves on such a small plane. So I just kind of paint it on. I'll show you how to do it. I had some sticking on the lid. It's probably going to have to clean that a little bit, but I hadn't yet, so obviously. Looks like I got a hair in it. I bet it's my dog's hair. That is... I try to do the lint roller when I come into my craft room. I want it a little darker than that because my beast of a border collie sheds a lot too. She's a rescue. See what I talk about being a klutz? Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that just happened. Nope, I can't do that. Look how beautiful this color is, though. Okay. I don't even know where to begin first. I don't even know why I'm mixing this one up. Alright, let me let me stop this and clean it up. Okay, guys, I'm back. So, future reference, when you're working with mica powders, I may just edit this out, but take your time. Don't rush it. Don't try to just dump a little bit out of the whole entire bag or bottle. I know not to do that, but I was trying to make this YouTube video shorter and not as long as it is. But remember that you can go back and edit your video and cut everything out. So take your time with mica powders. I think I might leave this in just to let you know. We all do things like this. Okay, so back to what I was doing. Mica powder, correct amount. It is already mixed in, and I cleaned up my mess again. So we're going to pour a little bit on there. Right around the beach area. Okay. And I'm just making sure all the ocean is covered, because I'm going to bring it back up, but I don't want any gaps. Bring it up onto the shore. It is, and we are going to use this, the hard resin. We're not going to need a whole lot, just a little bit. And the white pigment, make sure it shook it up. I had these shook up earlier. Put a little dot in there. Maybe a little more. And mix that. And what I'm going to do is take this little silicone bendy brush, I guess. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, that thing. And I am going to paint it around on the beach. Get those little waves, little crashy waves. And the best part is the texture of the sand. It kind of seeps through the resin. just run it across. This over here looks a little cloudy. Oops, didn't want to put the image. And if you put too much, you can go ahead and bring some of that back. Make another wave. Okay, I'm really liking how this is looking right now, so I'm going to zap it before I start on the next part. And see how I'm also not just putting some on the shore, but then I'm going out here and making gaps in between so it looks like more waves are coming in. So you want to do that. I kind of like how that looks. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, I like that. Okay, so we're done with that. And now we're going to do the dolphin jump. This is the part where people really wanted to know about it. Okay. Dry this off. Now, this is where we're going to use the UV soft resin. And what we're going to do is I'm going to use this silicone mat. It's flat, it doesn't have the bumps like on here. And I'm just going to make the outline of the jump. That little curve right here. And I zoomed in here so you can see a little better. And you're going to try to make the shape of the splash that you want. It doesn't have to be perfect because the best part about the soft resin is you can cut it easy. And it's bendable, so. And we're just going to, I have this silicone mat. We're just pouring it just like that, and then we're going to take our little light and zap it. Okay. And that will just peel right off just like that. And just to structure it a little better, I'm going to put some more on the other side. It doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, we can cut it. Well, actually, we're going to cut it, so. And then zip that. Just like that. See how bendable it is? And now we're gonna take this and we're gonna line it up to see how we want it. And we just cut out the shape we want. And it's sticky for right now. Yes, it's sticky, but it won't be in a little bit. Because we're going to add some more resin to this. So it's going to be a lot thicker. That looks good to me. So now what we're going to do is we're going to attach our splash to the water with UV resin, the hard resin, just so it will stick. It doesn't need to be pretty yet. This turn away. There we go. Okay. And then just line up where you want it. And okay. Just like that. Or like that. I don't know which way this is going yet. And then you just want to attach your dolphin to it at the base, just like you did down here. And doing that, you can use one of your silicone brushes. Put that on there, right on there, and then right on here. If it drips down, it doesn't matter. It's actually better that way. And just make sure you secure your base and your dolphin a little better before you get into anything else. And sometimes your dolphin may have a tendency, since it's not completely secure, to lean a certain way. So just try to get the base with the hard resin where you want it. If you have to lean it a certain way, it's fine. You may have to do that. But you'll notice, if you can see it, do you see how cloudy this is compared to here? How shiny that is? This is going to be cloudy because especially it's still sticky, you're cutting it, you're moving it around to shape you want, and then when you put on the hard resin, it brings the shine back. That doesn't even, you can't even really tell the cut lines from where they were. So now comes the fun part. You're going to want to put A little bit more resin in here if you need some more. And you can either take the silicone, because what we're going to do is make it look like it's the water. Or if you have those eyedroppers, or I'm going to be using this really old baby medicine syringe thing. And what you're going to do is get some in there. Just like that. And then make sure you have your UV light ready to go. I kind of leave it on with my glasses on. And you're going to take it and you're going to squirt some of it from the base. Just like that. And then you are going to, if I don't lose my syringe, let it drip. Let it roll down and let it drip. Get some more. Ooh, I hit my finger, but that's okay, because it'll go back into shape. And let it drip. And here I will show you with the little brush how you can do it. Get a little bit on your end and then just place it up here at the top. Just dab it. And then let it drip. And then stop it mid-drip. And do the front with one of these. And let it drip. So I don't know if you can see that. Let me take this off so I can see. Those strips. And then just keep doing that till you get down to the base. Sometimes I like to wait and watch a drip get down to a certain place before I seal it with the light. And make sure you seal all of it, because you don't want any of that foggy looking soft resin showing. Because then it won't look like water. If you have to, turn your light out, take off your glasses so you can see a little bit better, the protective glasses. But before you turn that light back on, make sure you put the glasses back on, so you don't forget. I'm just waiting for it to get to the spot that I want it to. Drip, 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 drip down. Right there. And you can just see it harden up. Okay. And sometimes if you want a larger splash, don't leave it straight up and down. Turn it upside down and then do it. And it'll suspend that splash more. It won't it'll keep it from flattening it down. See that right here? See all those little splashes? That one right there, I suspended that one. It's so cool looking. Okay, I'm going to do this a little bit more.
A few moments later.
If you want, I don't particularly do it, because on this one at least I haven't, because it's so much higher and much thicker out of the water. But if you wanted to do that same technique that we did with the waves by the beach, you can do that around your dolphin splash. But you really don't need it, because it is pretty much splashing on its own. You can add some more drops at the base, but it's pretty cute. So this looks pretty good. It's a good splash. Okay, so next, what you're going to want to do is you get to add your little pieces that you collect. I've got this one. I put the shells and the anchor. I have an anchor and a starfish. I put them on the beach, and then I put my moss back here on the base of the scallop shell. This time, my beach is a lot smaller, so I may just put everything back here. If you don't want to use your UV resin, you can use just regular jewelry glue, like the, oh, what is that? What do I use? Let me see, hold on. It is the E600. Come on, Olaf. That E600. glue works great. I've got a lot of it. Make sure it's real secure. And then to make your piece flat, because see how it's, I don't know if you can really see that the way it is, but it's falling forward. It's not flat. So I have this almost clear mat. And I'm just going to put a little bit of resin down here. Let's see. And just sit it on top and hold it the way that I want it to sit. I'm going to zap it all around. A little bit more. I'm actually going to put it up underneath more. Let me turn it this way. Also got this type, which is a lot flatter. I'll try to shove some up underneath there. A little bit better. Another thing you can do if you have this clear, because this is a little bit clear, it's like a matte, it's not too clear, but it's a lot more clear than this. But if you have a glass tile or anything, you could put the blob on there, put the glass tile underneath here like this, and then zap it from underneath, holding it parallel, and it'll be flat. Let's see. I don't know where my glass piece. Okay. Just lift that up, and then you've got a flat base. Now you can cut all this extra stuff off with an X-Acto knife or whatever, but your base will still stay the same. So that's pretty much it. Those are my first 2 tutorials. I hope you enjoyed. And I'd love to see all your creative stuff that you make. You should go check out Let's Resin, the Facebook group, and it's a great place to share some of your talents and even your mistakes. So, all right, thank you.